All right, so there's this really cool new way of chopping up samples in MPC 3.0. This is a new feature that we did not have before in 2.0. I actually like this with drum breaks or percussive instruments. So if you want to create variations or different rhythms, check out this new method. Right here, I have the MPC keys 37, and when you power on the 37, it always automatically starts you off with an instrument plugin. So right now I only have one track, but I do not want to start with this instrument plugin. I want to switch this instrument plugin into a drum track. In order to switch or change the type of track of an already existing track, you hit this little icon right here and you can switch this right away. That's actually really easy, really fast. You do not have to delete and recreate a new track. You could just switch the type of track it is. Now that we have this, I'm going to go into my browser, go into my SD card, and right here I have a folder that I shared with my Patreon community. Is SP1200 breaks. I actually just went over the SP1200, sampled a bunch of breaks, and released them to my Patreon community. So if you want to get all these breaks right here, go down to the link of this video, sign up to Patreon, and you'll have access to these chops. Nice. Let's get this one right here. Let's put it in pad 1. Now, if I go into my sample editor, I want to listen to this break right here. Okay, so it's 2 bars that I have in this loop. I want to get the BPM of this loop that I have right here. So let's go, and there's 8 beats in those 2 bars. So it's telling me that the original tempo of this break is at a 101 beats per minute. I'm going to drop this down to 90 beats per minute. Hit do it. It's going to time stretch this to 90 beats per minute. One thing that I noticed, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the time stretching maybe sounds better in 3.0 if I just pitched it down about 11 beats per minute. Let's see how this sounds. That sounds pretty good. I don't feel no artifacting. It sounds great. That's 11 beats per minute. Now I want to go from trim into chop mode, and being right here in chop mode, I'm going to go into regions. Once I'm in regions, it's going to create different chops according to how many regions I select. So if there's 2 bars, that means there's 8 beats within those 2 bars. I wanted to create 16 regions, so I have a bunch of micro chops. So it created those chops for me. I want to leave it just the way it is. Now, what we have, I don't know what this feature is called. I don't know what they named it, but it's just leave it right here in regions, chopped up into 16 regions. So it's micro chopped, the whole entire drum break. So now if I go to my main page, I'm able to go to this drum track that we had created. I had that drum break that I had put in pad 1, which is right here. Now, this new feature comes in when we jump into this track editor. We can double tap this waveform, and now we're right here in this track editor, and going over here to the samples tab, we'll see if we select this pad, it will display right here the sample that's within that pad at the moment. But if we go right here on slice and we hover through, we can have all, or we can have slice 1. Because we already chop this up in the sample editor, is going to give us an option to select slice 1, slice 2, 3, 4. But if you click this down as a button, you'll see that you could either trigger the pad, trigger all, or trigger slice number 1. I'm going to leave it to trigger slice number 1. Once I have that, I'm going to go to this little play icon right here, select that, and then it's going to tell me how do I want to trigger this. I want to go in increments, or if I want to randomize it. What is it going to do? It's going to randomize all those slices that we created in slice mode within the sample editor. Now, let me let you listen to what I'm talking about, because I think it's going to make more sense. Since it's in random mode, every time I select this pad, it's going to randomize a slice that we sliced up in slice mode within this sample editor. So it's randomizing what slice is going to trigger every time I select that pad. Now, what's really cool, I'm able to hold down note repeat. Let's go to 1/8, hold down that pad. Or 1/16. That's actually really cool with drum breaks because it's creating this rhythm. I'm not really thinking about it as my main drum break, but it's creating this rhythmic move that I myself would not have come up with. Now, if I want to lay that down on the grid, let's go to overdub. Now we could even jump into the mixer, jump into effects, start adding an EQ on this. Let's add in a transient shaper, and I want to bring out the attack and just make this drum break a bit more pronounced. Yeah. Soft clipper. All right, so it's creating some swing, some movement. Again, this is something that I would not have come up with on my own. So having that flexibility to randomize those chops using that slice mode is actually really fun for someone like me. All right, so I'm actually gonna create a new track. I'm gonna go into a new drum track. And right here, I wanna play back that break, and I'm hearing the kick, but I wanna emphasize that kick with a different kick that has punch to it. So I'm gonna hit play on this. I'm gonna go into my browser and see what types of kicks we can find. Let's go to the EA Ski drum packs right here. Go into the grid editor and start overlaying this right here. All right, so after layering some kicks on top of this break, I'm gonna go ahead and create a new track. I'm gonna make it a drum track, go into my browser. I'm gonna go into my programs, and I got these two programs right here. Hear that click? Get rid of all of these clicks right here with this envelope. There you go. We got Mother Ducker on that track, and let's go to this kick track and also put Mother Ducker. Create a new track. By the way, that sample that I had chopped up, that program, also will be available in Patreon. So if you guys want to re-chop that up, go ahead and download that by the end of this video. I'll have that uploaded. This track, let's go into a plugin instrument, and I'm going to go into this bass plugin, Subfactory. I want to go to this preset. And by the way, just a quick heads up, somebody on my previous video where I was showing Subfactory, they did mention like, hey, how come you didn't open up the parameters and start, talking about the details of some of the LFOs and all that stuff? I don't know anything about synthesizers. I don't know about LFOs. I don't know how to control those things. I just go based off of presets. So when it comes down to these plugin instruments, this is probably not my best language, so I don't really talk about those things. I just stick with the presets. If you're like me, don't worry, these presets right here are fire. All right, so a pretty fast and easy way to create grooves, swings, movement with different percussive sounds. Now, I was using a drum break, but if you have shakers, hi-hat grooves, I know there's some sample packs that, there's like some drum sample packs that are actual drummers. I know AJ Hall has some of these where you'll purchase one of his sample packs and you'll see a folder that says hat just hat loops that I'm able to bring into my MPC, and I'll add my kick, I'll add my snare, my ghost kicks. So it helps me bring that in here, chop it up the way we did, recreate or randomize the way it will trigger those slices, and I just start building on top of that. So just new creative ways of chopping up samples. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch y'all on our next video. Peace.